My name is Jay Weitzner, in case you didn't know. Today I'm going to talk to you about exercise equipment. Super important. I'll try to keep it brief. There's been a trend the last 10, 15 years almost maybe, where this idea of like less is more. And I'm here to tell you, clearly, less is not more. You can walk in today to a number of studios and they're going to have nothing but TRXs. TRXs are those kind of straps that hang from something. You can do a whole bunch of exercises. I don't hate the piece of equipment, but you'll see where I'm going. You can walk into a facility that has nothing but kettlebells. Everything's kettlebells. And then more popular, you can walk into places that have maybe just boxes and bands and maybe kettlebells. And then there's other places, this is more common even, that have like squat racks, kettlebells, and dumbbells, right? And then you can move up a little bit and you can go to places like professional sports teams, and these places will have squat racks, kettlebells, same old thing, dumbbells, maybe a cable machine, maybe something else, maybe not. And that's what we're talking about. So it's this idea that less is more. And many times it's happening based on like what's hot and trendy these days. Like when TRX were all the rage, those things were popping up everywhere. It never meant they were the best decision for everybody, right? And in other places like powerlifting places or like these professional sports teams I mentioned, what they're doing is they're saying, hey, what's most important are these few machines and these few motions, so that's what we're going to use, and everyone can get wonderful benefits. So there's this principle here at the exercise clinic that we adhere to, and I'm just going to touch on it today and maybe talk about it more another time. But the principle, it's basically called similarities and differences. And the idea is that with every single person everywhere, there's similarities and there's also differences. And we need to respect both. You know, the similarities are things like we have joints and we have muscles and we have cardiovascular systems and neurological systems. There's similarities, right? And we all bend and we twist and things like that. Then there's differences, and those differences are like our capabilities, what we can do, our limitations, what we can't do, maybe our ranges of motion, maybe the ease of which we can move into positions, maybe how quickly we adapt. Those are just a few. So similarities and differences. And this trend of having facilities with very little diversity in equipment, it's a problem because it's just focusing on the similarities. And they're trying to narrow down and say, hey, we can get everyone really strong in a bench press and a squat and a press. And that's it. And you know, here's the thing. At the highest level, the professional athletes out there, at the highest level, we should probably really be taking into consideration their differences. Because for those people, we want longevity, we want to avoid injury, and we want to really acknowledge their differences and make exercise fit them. Not make all the different athletes fit into the few exercises they do. And on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of the people we see here, in addition to some professional athletes, we have people with very, very diverse and heavy health histories, many joint replacements, lots of medications, lots of injuries, maybe some frailty, multiple diseases, situations where people are not able to advance very quickly and have a lot of things that we need to take into consideration. And both of these really opposite groups, we should be highlighting, paying attention to their differences. And that means in the equipment we use. So in addition here at the exercise clinic, in addition to having leg press, hip abduction, adduction, a cable machine, a pull down machine, a chest press machine, a pec deck, reverse pec deck machine, an assisted pull-up machine, a knee extension machine, a knee flexion machine, a seated calf machine. In addition to all those which I consider standard, nothing crazy, in addition to those, we got a whole bunch of stuff that most people have never even laid eyes on. A bunch of equipment, a bunch of add-on pieces too that we use to make each exercise equipment, piece of equipment, fit each individual. So when it comes to considering where you're going to try to make progress, wherever you fall on this spectrum, crazy advanced athlete, 90-year-old person, hip replacement, on 2 medications, wanting to move a little bit better and enjoy their life. Wherever you fall, you should work with the place that takes into considerations similarities and differences, and where those similarities and differences are evidenced and showcased in the equipment they offer to help get you guys to achieve your goals.